tapioca bread. Pretty nifty. Okay? Tasted fine. May not be as good as a good piece of Italian bread in a brick oven, but you know what? It's not worth it. I'm Italian, guys. This is killing me to tell you this stuff, okay? My grandmother, she's rolling over. Joey, what are you doing? But the difference is, in the past 50 years, wheat has been hybridized and hybridized and hybridized. So it's very different than it used to be. So don't eat wheat, bottom line. I can't negotiate that one. I can say eat organic wheat, just don't eat wheat. And the thing is that there's so many alternatives. For example, the pasta you had tonight, was it good?
Yeah.
Gluten-free. No wheat. What was it, Lloyd? Rice.
There it is.
Ticchiata, which is one of my favorite brands. This was brown rice pasta. Tasted fine, right?
Yeah.
Guess what? If you have a romantic dinner, you don't want to have gluten causing inflammatory reactions in your bowels, now do you? Rice solves the problem. Tastes great. Okay, so many people with emotional issues, hormone imbalances, anxiety, depression, bipolar. One of the things I always do for everybody, I try to get them off gluten. And what?
And wheat.
And wheat. Well, gluten is a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. Okay? So don't eat grains, because grains convert into sugar anyway. And let's cover sugar now. You eat something, piece of bread, sugar, whatever. Something with sugar in it. The sugar is broken down, glucose is utilized in your brain, it's the #1 brain fuel. Okay? And the cells use glucose. Once all the cells have enough glucose, it goes back to the liver and gets converted into something called glycogen. Glycogen is where we store energy or store our fuel for later on. Once we fill up all our reserves, glycogen gets converted into triglycerides, which gets stored as fat. Which is why when you eat sugar, you get fat. Pretty cool. Neat stuff. So stay away from grains. Not good stuff. If you're going to eat a grain, I recommend quinoa. Quinoa is not a grain, it's a seed, but you use it as a grain. I don't know how to spell it. I went to school in New Jersey, so I don't know how to spell it. Show-offs. I-N-O-A. And so if you're going to have to do a grain, that's the grain I recommend. Okay, and you can do quinoa pasta, by the way, too. And it tastes great. Higher in protein, lower in carbs, doesn't have gluten. Pretty nice. We talked about the butter already, so I don't think we have to go into that again. Okay? If you take carbohydrates and you heat them a lot, like you do with breads or French fries, for example, heat at a high temperature, it creates something called acrylamides. Acrylamides are known carcinogenics. So the crispier you make your French fries, the higher level of acrylamides. Deep fry them, acrylamides like crazy. Causes what? Cancer. Can cause cancer. Okay? What's that next on the list?
Did you talk about estrogen?
I'm going to get there, I hope.
Wine. We didn't cover the wine.
Oh, the wine! Ah, it's so lame. Okay. A friend of mine and his wife, very good friend of mine, one of my dearest friends in the world, and his wife, he comes to me and you know, I can't go to parties anymore. I can't go anywhere. I'm at the Super Bowl party. That's the guy from the radio. Lines for him. Let me ask you about this, let me ask you about this, let me ask you about this. So, anyway, comes to me and he says, listen, my cholesterol is real high, my wife's cholesterol is real high, we don't know what to do. We eat right, we exercise, we don't know what to do. I said, you got to cut out the booze. What else can we do? We talked about the liver and how it produces HDLs and LDLs, and one carries it out, one brings it back, and blah, blah. So, you got to cut out the booze. Now, the problem with wine and alcohol is it lowers your testosterone levels. Now, we need testosterone. Remember we talked about romance and muscle function? Okay. So we need the testosterone. And so wine lowers your testosterone level. So if you go out and get drunk and start feeling a little amorous, understand it's going to affect function. Logic, out the window. Function, also out the window. Okay? So wine is not good. Now wine is also high in sulfites. Now all wine has some naturally occurring sulfites in it. Sulfites are carcinogenic. Small amount your body can probably process. Too much sulfites and we've increased our cancer risk. The other problem with wine is it's high in fructose. Remember fructose? But I forgot about fructose. Can't forget about fructose. What happens is fructose gets into your system and converts into uric acid. Uric acid prevents nitric oxide production. There goes your blood flow. Got it? Not a good idea. And it destroys brain cells. Your brain controls what? Everything. We're going to get to that in the end because this is the most important part of the lecture I save for the end. Okay? So, what was our next one? Wine was?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Oh, no.
I'm scared. She's going to hit me.
The only bites I've got.
All right, how about this? I'll let you have chocolate. But organic dark chocolate. Organic dark chocolate is what I'll recommend you have. Okay? Now, organic dark chocolate is high in something called phenylethylamines. I've read conflicting studies on this, but phenylethylamines in chocolate are the same phenylethylamines that we find in our brain. And phenylethylamines in our brain make us feel like we're in love. This is why we give chocolate to our ladies on Valentine's Day. Because gentlemen, as you know, we screwed up. We don't know why we screwed up. We just know we screwed up. So for one day, we can get them high and make them think they like us. So we can trick them. Okay? So that's why if you're going to do chocolate, small amounts of organic dark chocolate. The reason is it's higher and richer, so you don't have to eat as much. Higher in good nutrients and richer. Okay? Does have caffeine in it, by the way. Never give it to a dog. Has theobromine in it. They can't process it in their kidneys, and they can die. Okay? So, just an FYI. Fair enough? So there, that wasn't so bad, right? So here's a fun little thing you can do for romance. Okay? Get some strawberries, wash them real well, get organic, because a lot of them have pesticides in them. Melt some organic dark chocolate. You get organic chocolate chips. Okay? Melt them and just dip the chocolate in it. Chocolate-covered strawberries, $4 or $5 a piece. Ridiculous. Okay? You can buy a bag of organic dark chocolate chocolate chips for a couple of dollars, buy some strawberries, dip them in there, and whoever your significant other is thinks you're the coolest person on the earth. Okay? You made these? How do you melt chocolate? Just got to tell you. Double boil it. Don't put it directly on the heat. It'll burn. Take a metal pot or a glass pot, put it under a pot of boiling water. It'll melt. Do not put it in a microwave. Never microwaves. Xenoestrogens, lower your testosterone, not a good idea. Okay? With me so far? What's next on our list? Oh, back to work.
After dinner smoke.
After dinner smoke. If you do that, don't. Okay? Depending on the study you read, there can be about 100 billion free radicals in every puff of cigarettes. Free radicals are like Pac-Man, they eat through things. Okay, and you don't want to eat through things because they'll eat through your blood vessels. If we start eating through your blood vessels, what happens is your body has to lay down, it eats a hole in the blood vessel. So what does the body do? It has to fill in that hole, and it fills it in with cholesterol. It's cement. And the cholesterol builds up and builds up and builds up, cuts off blood supply. We talked about blood supply several times, right? So not a good idea. What's next on our list? Other things. Okay? Let's talk about the other things. And this is the most important thing I can teach you tonight. The way the body works is your brain sends messages down your spine, out your nerves, to every cell in the body. If you get this simple concept, every aspect of your life from here on out changes dramatically. This is healthcare that really, really works. Okay? The other stuff, if you don't fix these basic things I'm going to teach you right now, the other stuff only has moderate results. So the brain is sending messages down the spine, out the nerves, to every cell in the body. My pituitary gland, my thyroid, my pineal, my romantic organs, my liver, my spleen, my kidneys, my gallbladder, my adrenal glands, all controlled by nerves. Why? The brain sends a message down the spine, out the nerves. Two things make a nerve malfunction, chemical or physical. We talked a lot about chemical today. Okay, but that's only part of it. The physical is the most important one. If you have a bone out of place pinching a nerve, whatever on the other end of that nerve is not going to work. You've done this before, right? Fall asleep on your arm? Why? You pinch the nerve in the blood vessel. So what do? You unpinch it, shake it out, make it work. But if you have a pinched nerve in your spine, whatever on the other end of that spine doesn't work. So if I have a pinched nerve in my low back, which is one of the most common areas to have a pinched nerve, that controls the colon, the sex organs, and the bladder. That can cause gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, urinary problems, period problems, sexual problems, men, impotence, sterility, prostate problems. No one ever told you that before, did they? The nerves control everything. So if you have a pinched nerve, what's the most logical thing to do? Unpinch it. There you go. Rocket scientists up here. Unpinch the nerve. and then the organs are capable of functioning. If you ignore everything else I just taught you in almost the past, whatever it was, 40 minutes or so, the nervous system is by far the most important thing, not just for hormones, but for everything. Now there's a gland back here called the adrenal glands. They sit on top of the kidneys, and they're little glands, but they're so important. The adrenal glands produce adrenaline, which gives you energy and opens up your blood vessels. That's why if you sit down and stand up and you get dizzy, it's almost always adrenal insufficiency. Because the adrenals aren't producing enough adrenaline to open up the blood vessels to get the blood up to the head. Pump the blood up. Pretty cool. Okay. They produce anti-inflammatories. Everything in your body is constantly battling inflammation. It's creating it and fighting it, creating it and fighting it. If I scratch your arm like this, I just create an inflammatory response. Okay? Your adrenal glands are pumping out prostaglandins. Boom, I got to deal with this emergency to deal with this, and then once it calms down, they produce other anti-inflammatories. They produce anti-inflammatories, bring it down. They bring the inflammation up, they bring the inflammation down. Very important organs. And they produce something called DHEA. DHEA is your precursor to testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. Your hormones. Remember them? And so if your adrenals aren't working, you can't produce the proper amounts of adrenaline, DHEA, and prostaglandins. And now we start seeing problems everywhere else. So how do we know if our adrenals are pooped out? You're tired all the time. Another thing you can do, bags under the eyes. Bags under the eyes are almost always an indication of adrenal insufficiency. What burns out your adrenals? Stress, alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweeteners. Got it? Behind you. There you go. Can you duck down for me? Thank you. So the adrenals are very important. They produce these hormones. And so the adrenals can burn out. You're under a lot of stress, the adrenals start pumping out these hormones and they can't keep the pace. They also produce something called cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. Not good for romance when you're under stress. Remember sympathetics, parasympathetics? Okay? Cortisol also causes you to lay down fat. The body thinks it's under attack, so what does it do? It stores the fat for use later on as an energy fuel. Well, when does the stress ever end? When does the attack ever end? Never. So the cortisol can make you fat. Fat produces estrogen. Estrogen counteracts testosterone. Causes you to lay down fat. So the adrenal glands are really important. We've got to make sure we're pumping out the right amount of hormones, and the adrenals aren't working, you can't pump them out. So what we want to do is be able to reboot the adrenal glands chemically and physically. So chemically, we stay away from the bad stuff, and we eat the good stuff. What's the good stuff? Fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. That's it. That's it. There's 120,000 fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds in this world. You could never eat all the good food there is in this world in a lifetime. No matter how hard you try. Can't do it. Okay? Tonight you had some pretty cool food, didn't you? Yeah. We had sparkling cider to start with instead of wine. You want to celebrate? Have sparkling cider. Don't drink a lot of it. Why? It's high in what? Fructose. Got it? So, we got to get the adrenal glands working. The acupuncture point to your adrenals is right here. Right below your clavicle, right where your sternum kind of comes together. Anybody want me to check them? If you gotta be, it's okay to come on camera, I'll check you out.
Yeah, thanks.
Come on up.
I'm Sally.
Hi Sally, I'm Joe. Nice to see you. Alright, I don't know Sally, I haven't paid you much, have I?
No.
Okay, good. Not enough. So, I keep your arms straight,
Okay.
push in towards your body, I'm going to pull out. Push in. There's not a lot of strength there, is there? Now, it has nothing to do with strength. That muscle correlates to the adrenal gland. She's not locking. So what we do is you come right in here, Sally. It's okay for me to do this? Say yes? Okay, good. And I'm going to tap right here. I'm going to show you how to do this on yourselves. And all I'm doing is I'm kind of rebooting. Oops. I'm kind of rebooting her adrenals. And I'll show you what it is. I'll show you how to do it. It's really easy. Okay? So all I'm doing is I'm rebooting her adrenals.
Ow!
Yeah, it's sore there.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Push in again.
Weird.
Pretty cool.
Don't be messing with
Okay. I'll do this side too, because chances are this adrenal's popped out too, so burned out. And I'll show you how to do this in a second. Okay? So this is something you should do all day, every day anyway. Okay? All right, push in again. Good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. cute.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
So, you're going to try to find that spot, right? And all you're doing is take your hand, cup it, and just like right around your collar, that's where it should fall into your hand, and just do this. And what you're doing is stimulating your adrenal glands. You're doing it. You guys would do anything, won't you? So what I want you to do is every time you stop at a red light, do that. Why? Reboot your adrenals. Red light reminds you, gives you something to do, and people think you're crazy. And nobody messes with crazy people. Okay? Cut them off, do this. Cool, man. That's good. So that'll get the adrenals rebooted. Now you have to make sure your adrenals are working properly, and you stay away from alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, cocoa, soda, artificial sweeteners. There are certain herbs you can take to reboot the adrenals. I won't tell you what they are because I don't know if you need them or not. And I don't want you to take them if you don't need them. And that's the big problem I have with a lot of nutritionists. Take this, take this, take this. I don't know if you need it or not. And they never address the most important thing, which is the nervous system. Because the nervous system controls everything. And if you don't unpinch the nerves, the body can't work. I don't care how many herbs you take, I don't care how many coffee enemas you take, I don't care how many lotions and potions and rubs and scrubs you take, you got to get the nervous system working, and then you, and in addition, you add all these other things. Is it good to have the other things? Yes. But the nervous system is the key. Okay? And what did I forget to talk about? I forgot to talk about artificial sweetener. The worst thing you can put in your body. Wow. Okay? Aspartame. Do we have any over there, Laura? Laura, any packets? Blue packets? Aspartame breaks down to 3 components: aspartic acid, phenylalanine, and methyl esters. Aspartic acid is what's called an excitotoxin. It excites your brain. And your brain gets so excited that cells start to die. And it literally burns out your brain cells. Okay? That'll work. It's a good one for hormones. I'll talk about the yellow one in a second. So aspartic acid excites your brain, brain cells burn out, not a good idea. Methyl esters is one of the byproducts. Methyl esters is methanol. Methanol is what? Wood alcohol. If I were to give you a glass of methanol, you could have me arrested for attempted murder. It's found in a little blue packet. Oh, there we go. Okay? And it messes with your brain. It lowers your serotonin levels. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that makes you happy. You want to have romance and have good hormones, you want to be happy, right? This stuff lowers your serotonin levels. It also makes your body think that it's sugar. The body's been programmed for a couple of zillion years that, ooh, something sweet, I got to produce insulin. Insulin is going to go in, take the sugar, bring it to the cells, and utilize it. Well, it tastes something sweet. The pancreas says, hey, what's that? Sugar? I better send out some insulin. There's no sugar here. So what do? You start craving carbohydrates. Almost every study done, every legitimate study I've ever seen that was done, shows that the more artificial sweetener you use, the fatter you'll get. So this stuff messes with the nervous system. I keep telling you, the nervous system controls everything. I'm a chiropractor. I open up the nerve supply. I let the life energy flow from the brain down the spine out to the body so the cells can become vital again. And if you don't do that, the cells don't have vitality. They can't function. So let me show you how toxic this stuff is. Anybody want to volunteer? Gotta be okay to be on camera. Come on up. Okay? All right. Turn to face the camera here. All right. Put your arm straight out. There you go. Push up towards your head. Push again. Good. Okay? Put your hand out. Wrap your hand around it. Now I'm going to talk for a second. Okay? Now you understand neurological function more than anybody. Can I say what? It's okay to say what? Yeah. Okay. He was in a motorcycle accident a while ago, and we have some brain damage. Okay, so he's not drunk, he's staggering because he has brain damage because the brain controls what? Everything. Okay, so thank you for bringing me up here. So, what I'm doing is I'm not having you eat it, I'm having you hold it. The reason is your skin is a sponge. Anything that gets into your body gets absorbed through your skin. Okay, anything you put on your skin, gets absorbed into your body. So, makeups, I could do a whole lecture on makeups and how toxic they are. We couldn't find one commercial lipstick in this country that didn't have nickel in it, or lead. I'm sorry, lead. Every commercial lipstick has lead in it. What are you doing? You're sucking it through your skin. Okay? Okay, makeups, deodorants, antiperspirants with aluminum in it. Aluminum gets in the brain, can short circuit the brain. So it's a whole other lecture. Tonight we're doing on this. Watch what happens when something that's toxic to the nervous system gets absorbed into your skin. Put your arm straight out. Push up real hard.
God.
Push again.
God.
Breathe. Let's throw that away. He didn't eat it. He held it. Every muscle in his body went weak. What happens if you have a diet soda before your romance? Every muscle.
Splenda the same thing.
Splenda is bad for a different reason. Splenda is a chlorinated hydrocarbon. What that means is you take sugar, you add hydrogen to it, and chlorine. You take out a hydrogen, you add chlorine, I think it is. Chlorinated hydrocarbons stimulate your estrogen receptor sites. Causes your body to start producing or acting like it has estrogen. Estrogen counteracts testosterone, causes you to gain weight. Remember that? This stuff will knock your socks off in a bad way if it comes to romance. Okay? Pretty dangerous stuff, isn't it? So this isn't any better. This used to say on the package it could cause cancer. Written in pink. Somehow they don't have to put that on there anymore. Not a good idea. Okay? So, of all the foods I'll teach you about, the worst thing you can put in your body, by far, bar none, artificial sweetener. Absolutely the worst. So no more. Where's it found? Say everywhere. Everywhere. Sugar, gums, yogurts, cookies, cakes, drinks, energy drinks. Everywhere. Kids' foods, kids' vitamins have artificial sweetener in them. Vaccines have artificial sweetener in them. Called the CDC and asked them, they wouldn't tell me why. I don't know why. So stay away from the artificial sweetener. Not good. Okay, Lori's giving everybody a sample of something called stevia. Stevia, okay. Stevia has about 70 different nutrients in it. What?
The green packet one of stevia?
All of them are fine. They just have different flavors, okay? Different levels. You got to decide what you like, okay? So, stevia has over 70 nutrients in it. 0 calories, safe for diabetics. Okay.
Stevia is okay.
Stevia is okay. See, I'm not mean about everything.
What is maltodextrin?
Maltodextrin, sometimes they make it from corn. It's a filler, basically. Okay? It's such a small amount I wouldn't even worry about it. Okay? But the nervous system, I'll get to questions in a second. The nervous system is the key to this whole lecture. Your pineal gland, your pituitary gland, your thyroid, your adrenal gland, these are the hormone producers. Your testicles, ovaries, they produce hormones. What controls the adrenal glands? What controls the pituitary gland? The blood supply and the nervous system. So if you don't have proper nerve function, those organs can't produce the proper amounts of hormones in the right amounts at the right time. And so we can try to fix it externally, but most times healing comes from the inside. It's an internal problem, not an external problem. We can't sell you anything to make the internals work. We can only sell you something to make the external, from an external source. How do we make the internals work? We make the spine lined up. The bones are out of place, we put them back in place. How do you know you have a bone out of place? If you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, arm pain, hand pain, wrist pain, how many people have that? Raise your hands.
Yes.
Okay. How many people can't raise their hands because their shoulder's too sore? If you have pain, you have a pinched nerve. That nerve not only hurts, but controls organs. Get it fixed. The other thing is if bones are out of place, they rub up against each other and they wear out. We call that arthritis. Okay? As the bones wear out, they crush the nerves. Nerves control organs, right back where we started from. Not a good idea, is it? So if you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, arm pain, hand pain, neck pain, numbness, tingling, or anything aside from 100% perfect health, and I've never met anyone who does, you want to get your spine checked. And if you do, you'll be fine. Put it back in place, it's a good thing. Okay? I used to laugh. I used to say a year's worth of treatment was less than one, a year's worth of treatment in my office was less than 1 day in the hospital. A couple months ago, I cut my mouth. Went to the hospital. I was wrong. A year's worth of treatment is less than 2 hours in the hospital. Okay? And about 1 hour and 50 minutes of that was waiting. Okay? So, getting the spine fixed is an amazing investment because it allows your body to function normally so that you can go out and do other things. So you can be healthy, so you can eat right, you'll have the energy, you'll have the romance, the hormones get more balanced, you're eating the right foods. If you're not digesting your food properly, if your stomach is pushed up against your diaphragm, you pull the stomach down away from the diaphragm physically so it can start digesting food again. If the stomach is up against the diaphragm, it can't break proteins into amino acids. Amino acids are necessary to produce neurotransmitters in the brain to give you pleasure. Dopamine gives you pleasure. You need tyrosine to create dopamine. You need tryptophan to create serotonin. GABA calms you down. If you're under a lot of stress, you may not have enough, the GABA balance might be off. You might want to eat the foods to get the amino acids to produce the GABA to calm you down, GABA. Cool stuff, huh? So when you understand how something works, it's easy to fix it. So when it comes to hormones, you got to stop putting the bad stuff in. Not only eating it, exposing yourself to it. Get perfumes that are essential oils instead. Shampoos that don't have parabens in it. Phthalates are chemicals that can affect your hormones. Stop using your microwave. When? Yesterday. Okay? The only thing your microwave is good for is take your sponge at the end of the day after doing all your dishes, put it in the microwave, set it for 2 minutes, and go to bed. It's so highly toxic it destroys the viruses, germs, and bacteria and bursts them open.
Even with glass.
Even with glass.
Even with glass.
Even with glass. Still alters the DNA and the structure of the food. Okay? See how easy that was? That's not hard, is it? Okay?
Yeah.
Now, before you leave, you have homework. You thought the lecture was free? Life Grocery was kind enough to give us some great soups and chilies back there. So before you leave, please take some with you. Have some. Enjoy it. Okay, that's a gift from Life Grocery. The cafe here is amazing. I come here for lunch all the time. It's some of the best food I've ever had anywhere. It's vegan. Many times it's gluten-free. It's organic. So this is a great place to come, have meetings, have a nice lunch. They have a great Sunday brunch, which is wonderful. So I really like it here. I just want to give them a little plug. But the soup back there, I want you to try it. But before you leave, here's your catch. I got free stuff for you. I've even got gluten-free pasta for you if you like, gluten-free baking mixes and everything, and cookies and crackers. The only way you can get it is this. Lori just handed out surveys. Okay? You have to fill out the survey. I am Italian. I have people waiting outside at the end of the survey. If watch The Godfather, it's a documentary. Okay? Tell us what you thought of today's workshop. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Is there anything we can do to improve it? I'd love to have you come back next month. Okay? You think this is fun? Every month we do this. It's a lot of fun. There's always free food. And on the bottom, I want to give you, and when you hand in the survey, you can take some free stuff up here that Lori has. Pastas, cookies, baking mixes, all sorts of fun stuff. But on the bottom, I want you to mark this little box off. And it says, yes, I'd like to have a free consultation with Dr. Joe. I want to meet with each and every one of you who are not my patients. A lot of you are my patients already. If you're not a patient, I can come in, I want to check your nervous system, and it's absolutely free. We'll talk about your specific issues. If it is a pinched nerve, I'll tell you, fix it. Then you can decide what you want to do. Whatever you want to do is totally up to you. But at least so you have the knowledge of knowing, wow, this is what's going on. Okay? Mark that box, and before you leave, please see Lori. Lori will set you up an appointment. Why do I want you to make your appointment today? 3 radio stations now carry my show locally, and a 4th one I met with today who now they want to carry it as well. And NPR is looking at it. Okay? So we book up very quickly with new patients. And I want you guys, because you spent an hour listening to my bad jokes, to have the first opportunity to make an appointment. So please make the appointment with Lori. If you do become a patient, great. We file insurance. We accept Medicare. Most insurances, we do all the filing. If you don't have insurance, that's fine. It's still going to be cheaper than anything else you're doing. But again, the consultation really is free.